Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oldham County Fiscal Court. I'm Judge Executive David Vogel. Happy to have you all here today on the 20th day of June, 2017. If you're able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Magistrate Likens.
Here.
Magistrate Tice.
Here.
Magistrate Leslie.
Here.
Magistrate Greenwell.
Here.
Magistrate Hounds.
Here.
Magistrate Eldridge. Magistrate Dye.
Here.
Magistrate Logsdon. And Judge Vogel.
Here. Having 8 of the 9 members of the Fiscal Court, this meeting is now in session. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Now I'll ask our clerk, Sheila Fair, to please read the minutes from our meeting on June 6th.
June 6, 2017. The Oldham County Fiscal Court convened at a regular meeting at 2 p.m. with Judge Executive David Vogel, County Attorney John Carter, and the following magistrates in attendance: Brent Likens, Wayne Tice, Bob Leslie, Steve Greenwell, Chris Hounds, Kevin Eldridge, Bob Dye, and Michael Logsdon. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Likens to approve the agenda as submitted, adding Economic Development Committee, Commerce Parkway discussion under Committee Reports and Recommendations. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to approve the meeting minutes of May 16th as submitted. Motion carried 8-0-1. Magistrate Likens abstained. Public comment. Becky Zocklin, Recycling Coordinator, presented information on the 2017 River Sweep Saturday, June 17th, the annual event to clean up the banks of the Ohio River. For volunteer information, call 1-800-359-3977. Sally Clark, 5201 Arrowshire Drive, LaGrange, presented information relating to the Drive to Win app, a free mobile app to stop or at least curb texting while driving. Oldham County Fair Board Representative Ray Ann Rowley presented information relating to fairground facilities, the county fair, August 1st through 5th, and other annual events, including a free yard sale swap meet Saturday, June 17th. Health Department presentation. Kathy Fowler, Oldham County Health Department environmentalist, presented information to the court relating to mosquito season and associated viruses and responded to questions from the court. Health Department presentation. Oldham County Health Department Director Teresa Gamsky presented information relating to its 2017 ad valorem tax rate and fiscal year 18 budget and responded to questions from the court. Bid opening for the road resurfacing project, Old LaGrange Road. The following sealed bids for the Old LaGrange Road resurfacing project were open and read aloud. Flynn Brothers, $86,397.50. Hall Contracting, $79,249.99. Louisville Paving, $103,406.23. Matt Construction, $99,011.36. Riverside Paving, $81,090.62. And Wingham Paving, $77,424.68. Bid opening Courthouse Plaza Irrigation System. There were no bids submitted for the Courthouse Plaza Irrigation System. Bid opening for the Oldham County Police Department building metal structure. The following sealed bid for the Oldham County Building and Metal Structure Project was open and read aloud for the record. Badgett Construction, $96,500. County Administration payables. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to approve the payables. Motion carried 8-1. Magistrate Greenwell voted no. Surplus property. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Greenwell to declare surplus the list of county property to 2009 Crown Victorias with the intent to sell at auction. Motion carried unanimously. Bid award annual audit service. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to award the annual audit service bid to Roy Hunter Certified Public Accountants for $12,925. Motion carried unanimously. Bid award road resurfacing project for Old LaGrange Road. Motion made by Magistrate Greenwell and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to award the road resurfacing project to Wingham Construction for $77,424.68. Motion carried unanimously. Community business, second reading, public hearing for the budget fiscal year 2018. County Treasurer Melissa Horn presented for second reading, public hearing, proposed ordinance number KOC 17-220-381 relating to the annual budget and appropriations for fiscal year 2017-18 as submitted, and the floor was open to public comment. There being no public comment, the public hearing was closed. Discussion followed. Motion made by Magistrate Tice and seconded by Magistrate Dye to adopt ordinance KOC 17-220-381 relating to the annual budget as submitted. Motion carried 8-1. Magistrate Greenwell voted no. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Eldridge to approve the standing order for pre-approved recurring expenses. Motion carried unanimously. Second reading, public hearing, proposed ordinance, address identification. Magistrate Leslie presented for second reading, public hearing, proposed ordinance KOC 17-30-378, repealing and replacing ordinance KOC 87-300-320.3 relating to address identification markers for properties in Oldham County, and the floor was open for public comment. There being no public comment, the public hearing was closed. Discussion followed. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Likens to adopt ordinance KOC 17-30-378, repealing and replacing the old ordinance relating to address identification markers for properties in Oldham County. Motion carried unanimously. Contract agreements and resolutions. Casabella Pyrotechnics firework contract agreement. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Tice to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the contract agreement with Casabella Pyrotechnics relating to the county's 4th of July celebration. Motion carried 8-1. Magistrate Logsdon voted no. Apple Patch Grant Procurement Code. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Dye to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the procurement code statement relating to the Apple Patch CDBG grant as presented. Motion carried unanimously. Apple Patch Grant Program Income Resolution. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the Program Income Resolution relating to the Apple Patch Grant as presented. Motion carried unanimously. KYTC Agreement for the non-standard materials for traffic light at Kentucky 53 and 146. Motion made by Magistrate Eldridge, seconded by Magistrate Dye to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the non-standard materials agreement with KYTC relating to the traffic light maintenance at Kentucky 53, 146 to find out what the eventual cost would be as presented. Motion carried 8-1. Magistrate Greenwell voted no. Resolution for KYTC confirming specified roads and links. Motion made by Magistrate Dye and seconded by Magistrate Likens to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the resolution for KYTC relating to streets in Willow Creek subdivision maintained by Oldham County Road Maintenance Program. Motion carried unanimously. Committee reports and recommendations. Road Committee Road Salt Bid Award. Motion made by Magistrate Greenwell and seconded by Magistrate Logsdon to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the agreement with Detroit Salt Company for the purchase of rock salt at $81.49 per ton as submitted. Motion carried unanimously. Economic Development Committee report on Commerce Parkway. Magistrate Tice provided an update on economic development along Commerce Parkway and a possible study on Commerce Parkway and long-term forecasting. Personnel, Parks and Recreation. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Dye to approve the pay adjustment for head guards at the Aquatic Center to $9.43 an hour effective May 28th, to include Mackenzie Esterly, Stephanie Light, Luke Hampton, and Michaela Olson. Motion carried unanimously. Dispatch. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Greenwell to promote Megan Engel to Telecommunicator 2 at $15.69 an hour effective June 25th, as submitted. Motion carried unanimously. Police Department. Motion made by Magistrate Leslie and seconded by Magistrate Dye to accept the resignation of Officer Bo Simpson effective June 16th, 2017. Motion carried unanimously. Public comment, none. Other announcements. Several fiscal court members stated the Memorial Day program was excellent and very well attended and thanked the organizers for another quality program. Magistrate Dye announced the projects in Crestwood are progressing, the turn lane road work at Dairy Queen and the park renovation at the Maples. He acknowledged the 73rd anniversary of the invasion of Normandy. Magistrate Hounds announced the Crusade for Children in Oldham County did well and thanked everyone who worked it and contributed. He asked drivers to slow down on Hallie Gibson Road. Magistrate Greenwell announced school is out for the summer and asked that drivers be extra careful. Magistrate Leslie also remarked on another successful Arts on the Green event and shared some concerns relating to vendors arriving and setting up before the agreed upon time. Magistrate Tice announced the pool is open for the season at the John Black Center. Magistrate Lankins announced Highway 42 is currently down to one lane near the entrance of City of River Bluff for utilities relocation phase of the KYTC's road widening project. There was some discussion on drainage issues in District 1. Judge Vogel announced Arts on the Green was a success. He attended the History Center ribbon-cutting ceremony for the Pioneer Education Building donated by Ken and Nancy Dahlgren. He announced Westport Fire is selling concessions at Schomburg Park in Westport. And I left off that his announcement regarding John Black, so I will add that in there. And then motion made by Magistrate Greenwell and seconded by Magistrate Dye to adjourn the meeting. Motion carried unanimously, and the meeting was adjourned at 5:06 p.m.
You've heard the reading of our minutes from June 6th. Are there any corrections?
Judge,
Yes, sir.
I don't have a correction, but I just want to clarify something. The KYTC agreement on non-standard traffic material, or non-standard materials for the traffic light. I've had people ask me how that ended up going, and I even had one magistrate say that you agreed to come back with a cost, and then we would vote to spend that money. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do we have an update on?
No,
Okay.
we've asked for it, but we don't have it yet.
Okay.
Are there any other points of order? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Time now for public comment, the time during our meeting when anyone who would like to make a public announcement is able to do so or bring before the fiscal court a point of concern in the community. County Clerk Julie Barr is here today with an announcement, I think.
I do have an announcement. Good afternoon, Judge, Magistrates, and Sheila. I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention that, of course, we will have a tax sale, and that is the unpaid bills from 2016. As you can see, on April the 15th, the sheriff turned over 419 bills to my office. And as of today, there are still 337 unpaid 2016 tax bills to amount to $469,000. The tax sale is going to happen on July the 27th, and we don't have any discretion in that. The statute says that the clerk sets a tax sale date, and third-party purchasers can come in and purchase those tax bills, and then the cost to the owner of the property increases substantially. So I always come and ask people to be aware that if there are struggles with paying your tax bill, you can always call the county attorney's office to set up a payment plan, and Connie has been absolutely awesome for people to work with. You can also pay the bills up to, the tax sale is at 9 o'clock. You can pay those tax bills up to 1 minute before the tax sale. And the acceptable forms of payment to pay me is cash, certified funds, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. And so we just strongly encourage people that if you are having issues, call the county attorney and set up a payment plan so those tax bills are not sold.
Yes, right. And does anyone have any questions? Magistrate Leslie?
Yes, Julie, you forgot to tell people where the sale is going to be.
The tax sale will be here in the fiscal courtroom. We usually have 15 to 20 third-party purchasers, and we sell them in rounds. And if you've never been, it's something. I've told them over the years to come prepared. We move on, and so they have learned how to do that. And we sell tax bills, and we do it in a pretty expedient manner. And so a lot of the bills are sold, and we're usually finished within an hour.
Thank you.
Any other questions about it?
Magistrate Dye?
Yeah, Joey, we were speaking earlier today. Are the delinquencies up or down for this year?
The sheriff actually turned over fewer bills by maybe 70 this year than last year.
How about the money amount?
You know, I don't remember the money amount from last year.
Now, this might sound like a stupid question, but can some of these delinquent bills be on the same property from year to year? I mean,
Oh,
People
historically they are.
oh, they are, it's just the same people never pay, and then And out of that $469,000, how much would the county net out of that after the sale? Just a guess. What percentage would you say?
You know, I'm just gonna tell you, I'll get back and let you know, because we have to, I collect the bills in total. And so there's county attorney fees, county clerk fees, the sheriff's fees, and then, we have to do the distribution. So I just don't have that number for you.
Okay, all right, well, I appreciate knowing that. Thank you.
I will tell you that the highest bill, there's one bill that's over $15,000. And so, and then some of them go down as low as $100 or less. So it's a pretty broad number.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? All right, seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak to public comment here today? Oops. All right, we have a gentleman coming. He went back to his seat to retrieve an item he'd like to show.
Good afternoon,
Please
Judge and Commissioner.
tell us your name and business address.
My name is Petty Officer Blair Pedersen. I'm a recruiter for the United States Coast Guard. I've talked to Mr. Tim Curtis from the Parks Department and sat in the Parks meeting. It's a big hiring year for the Coast Guard this year and next year. A typical recruiting year for us is 1,500 service members. We're looking for 4,250 this year and next year. And so what we're hoping to do is do some outreach within the county. Myself, I live here in LaGrange.
Oh, you
and,
do? Okay, great.
We're just hoping to do some outreach around here, local. We've got a lot of bonus opportunities from minimum of 2 to $40,000 enlistment bonuses, just trying to get the word out here in the county.
You can get a $40,000 bonus for joining the Coast Guard?
Yes, with a 2-year culinary degree, $40,000 enlistment bonus.
Okay, great. So you would have to apparently leave the area, though.
Yes.
You
there's
work
not
on the
currently-
Ohio River at all, or I guess Corps of Engineers does, but Coast Guard is quite a ways from here, aren't they?
We have about 100 active duty here in Louisville, quite a bit of reservists on the river from Cincinnati all the way down to Owensboro.
Oh,
A lot of Coast Guard on the river. We have 2 25-foot response boats. They're kind of just north of the bridge by Zorn Avenue.
okay. Would you like to show us your folder?
I
Your,
would, that'd be great.
Great. How do we can,
What we're hoping to do is hang this somewhere within the county. We have a lot of critical field positions, one of them being for our aviation survival technicians, our rescue swimmers that jump out of the helicopter, and so that's why we first outreach to the aquatic center. We've also done some outreach to the YMCA in Buckner, providing beach towels and things of that nature, just trying to get the word out that we're hiring.
great. Well, that's great. I'd like to, encourage people to spend some time in the military service. You can never be sorry for serving your country. You can, be paid well and have a lot of adventure too. And,
Definitely.
so,
A lot of education benefits.
a lot of educational benefits and so forth. Okay, well, thank you very much for
Thank you,
coming
Judge.
by, and I believe we're going to talk with you about putting that up down at the community center, right? Is that correct? Yes. Okay, thank you. That'd be great. I'm going to throw you just a curve here, in a way. We've had we've all heard about the ship collision off the coast of Japan between
Yes.
a Navy vessel and a commercial carrier. Notice that the Coast Guard has been sent to investigate that incident. Just seemed, unusual to have the Coast Guard go over there. Would you have any reason why, or is it just the
Any type
expertise of the?
because it's a commercial vessel, that's all regulated by the United States Coast Guard. So there's going to be an investigative team that would go over there.
Great, we're all looking to hear what the answer was to that incident.
Definitely. And there are local reserve positions that are similar to that. marine science technician positions, which are pollution and response type openings.
Great. All right, and where's your office here in Louisville?
We are kind of by the airport, kind of near Preston Highway.
Okay, so anybody that would like to, I guess the phone number's on the,
Phone number's on there. It's 502-969-4006.
thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Appreciate you being here.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, sir, okay.
What's the age limit? Or
It
what
depends
age?
on the program. Our regular age range for active duty is going to be 18 to 28. There's waivers beyond 32. There's different programs for prior service members. Myself, I was in the Marine Corps 6 years before the Coast Guard, so they do constructed age. So, but with reserve programs, you could be 42 on certain programs.
Manager Greenwell.
Did I understand you right that people jump out of a perfectly good helicopter?
Yes, they do. That's not my profession. I'm the one who winches them back up. That would be my job.
You just asked them to jump.
Thank you for being here.
Right,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you for being
Appreciate
here.
it.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak with the fiscal court? All right, seeing no one, I'm going to close public comment, and we'll go on to the first item on our agenda today, and that is the Stormwater Management District budget presentation. And I'd like to welcome Will Douglas, who is the chairman of the Stormwater District.
Good afternoon, Judge Vogel, Magistrates, Sheila. I am Will Douglas, Chairman of the Oldham County Stormwater District Board here at 100 West Jefferson Street, LaGrange, Kentucky. On behalf of the other board members, Tom Springer and Gail Cox, I'm here to present the 2018 fiscal year budget that starts on July 1st, 2017 and ends on June 30th, 2018. I would like to thank Stan Clark. He's not here right now today, but I believe the judge is filling in for him if I need some assistance. The Oldham County's Chief Financial Officer for his assistance and guidance and efforts to the district board as it relates to our financial reporting requirements. As you know, we are a special purpose government entity, an SPGE, which is a non-taxing district. And we have obligations to follow our financial reporting requirements to the state and also to report to the legislative body, which is fiscal court, any rate increases or our budget per DL, I think it's DLG. So anyway, but based on his efforts and the board's efforts, the collection of the past dues, especially Stan's, has done an outstanding job on his past due amounts collection of the stormwater quality fees. And I think he should be recognized for that, that endeavor. The board voted and recommended that the current stormwater quality fee remain the same. That which is currently set at $33.84. I believe this fee has been the same for several years now, as long back as I can remember, at least maybe 4 years now or so.
Well, it was actually a little higher at
Higher.
one point, and it's been reduced, I believe, twice.
Twice.
It started off quite a bit higher, and then it was dropped down significantly, and now we've been able to
Maintain that.
shave it back a little bit from
That's
there.
good. That's good. Well, as you know, this stormwater quality fee is added to the homeowner's property tax bill and collected by the Oldham County Sheriff's Office and eventually dispersed now to the board. And then there's also, I think, some current bills that are sent out to individuals or businesses that are not put on the property tax roll. Before I discuss the budget, I would like to provide a short background. As you recall, on July 2016, Fiscal Court approved an ordinance to reestablish the Stormwater Management District Board. The district board members were selected by the county judge executive and approved by members of the district or the fiscal court. As a result, the responsibilities, administration, and funding of the stormwater management and mitigation of the surface water pollution was removed from the Oldham County Environmental Authority, which is commonly known as OSEA. Although OSEA no longer has these responsibilities at this time, I believe they are still completing one major project, which is the Moody Lane area, which should be in the final stages. That's the only outstanding, I believe, project that they have remaining before they close out. In September of 2016, the new district board met and agreed to hold their regular board meetings open to the public on the second Monday of each month at 1:30 p.m. at the second floor conference room here at the Fiscal Court building. I thought I'd throw that in so that way the public who's listening be able to know when we hold our meetings and be able to come to those meetings. They're welcome to attend. To date, the district has employed and entered into contractual service agreements with the Oldham County Fiscal Court and the City of LaGrange to provide MS4 stormwater permit compliance services. Seems like a long dissertation of wording, but basically it's to help mitigate any stormwater runoff, pollution, and some minimum required measures that the state has implemented in the permit process, which we're still in the state trying to write that permit for the new upcoming year. As part of the contractual service agreements, both the county and city of LaGrange shall also provide services as needed to meet the 6 minimum control measures set out in the current Kentucky MS4 Phase 2 permit. Those 6 minimum control measures are public education and outreach, public participation and involvement, illicit discharge detection and elimination, post-construction stormwater management in new developments and redevelopments, and pollution prevention and good housekeeping for municipal operations. Without going into long detail what each one of those MCMs are, many of those MCMs, we have county ordinances that regulate those, like our post-construction site ordinance, our illicit discharge ordinance, our erosion control ordinance. So we have numerous ordinances that were adopted by Fiscal Court here that helps regulate a lot of these measurements that are implemented by the state that we are into that permit also. Since the district reestablishment and contractual service, the county has completed, and let me put up another one for you. The county has completed in excess of 40 stormwater runoff projects. These projects were addressed by the efforts of the Oldham County Road Department, and that does not include the City of LaGrange. The City of LaGrange has addressed various stormwater issues and have completed several projects through their efforts through their City Public Works Department. I placed on there what type of those projects, minor projects, range from. Each time we have a board meeting, both the road department and the City of LaGrange provides a list of projects they have completed. They also provide us a list of issues that they run into or complaints they receive reference stormwater runoffs in the county or in the city. And then the road department has done things from reconstruct roadside ditches, construct asphalt burns to keep water from rolling over into the roadway. They've also done some cleanouts of culverts in the right-of-ways where we had washout or culverts being stopped up by debris over time. So they've repaired washout areas on roadways that cause hazards to motorists due to stormwater runoff. So I think great effort has to be approached to now. We're seeing results, I think, and it may be minor or it may be major in some repairs, but the public is seeing some outcome, I believe, since the reestablishment of the Oldham County Board and the contractual service with the county and the city. County Engineer Scott Harris has also been working to ensure that we meet our 6 minimum control measures requirements Mr. Harris has provided the board oversight of the stormwater quality management plan, and he has been tasked to identify at least 3 significant major storm water issues and projects in the county, which will be given to the Fiscal Court Utilities Committee and the Stormwater District Board for review and to prioritize which of those projects need to move forward. I would like to thank Senior Construction Site Inspector Vic Pete, who has been working hard to ensure that developers comply with the construction site runoff ordinance. This ordinance ensures that proper soil erosion control measures are being implemented in order to avoid soil and debris does not exit into our streams, our waterways, and into our stormwater drains. Now for the most important issue for the day. Here's our presentation for the budget. As for the fiscal year 2018 Stormwater Management District budget, we're projecting the stormwater quality fees to be collected for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2018 at approximately $862,000. With our carryover revenues from fiscal year 2017, we project that our FY 2018 operating revenues will be $1,641,790. Based on the proposed operating expenditures and administrative costs, we project our total operating expenses to around $635,000. Out of the $635,000 expenses, the contractual service agreements to the City of LaGrange will be $100,000, and to Oldham County Fiscal Court at $525,000, with approximately $10,000 for administrative costs. So in our FY 2018 budget, we have projected that approximately $227,000 will be as net income, or I guess in layman's term, reserves. Of course, this depends on projected collection of stormwater quality fees for 2018 and any unexpected operating expenses. Also provided in your packet is the projected or condensed summary proposed budget for 2018. Without going through the whole document, I would like to draw your attention to the net income. If 2017 projected, we're looking at our projected income reserves, if we stay at where we're at right now to date, is $779,790. If that carries over, we're expecting at least $1,006,790 at the end of 2018, of June 30th, 2018. In order for us to address some of the major stormwater projects that will be identified, these reserves must be necessary to offset any additional costs to undertake those major projects. That's why I think it's important that we're trying to move our budget or move our reserves for those major projects. So, Judge, with that, that is our proposed fiscal year 2018 budget that the board has voted on and adopted. As I said, there is no increase to the stormwater quality fees. They remain the same at this time.
All right. Thank you. We don't actually approve or disapprove these budgets. We receive them and have the function here to ask questions for the public at large. Magistrate Leslie.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming today and presenting your budget. I was kind of curious. I mean, you have projected stormwater quality fees of 2017 at approximately $736,000, but 2018 you have approximately $862,000. How did you arrive at that? That's a significant difference if the fees are the same.
The fees were the same, but the projected 2017 fees are based on what this board has seen.
Right, I can understand that.
Part of the projection was or part of the funds was also received by OSEA, based on that projection also. So, but majority of those fees are, have been turned over to us at this point. But those were the projection that we effective from our date that we established, reestablished the board.
Thank
Does
you.
not take the whole projection for the whole year, because we're only responsible for the 10 months that we were in 2017.
Okay, and I know you said with your reserves being high, you had major projects that you needed to address. Could you tell fiscal court what some of those major projects are? You just one or two?
I don't think you want me to do it, or you do? Come on up. I'll invite Mr. Harris up, Scott Harris from County Engineer. We've identified at least 3 for now that we were reviewing, and they will be presented to the Utilities Committee for follow-up in order to prioritize. So I think Mr. Harris can answer why we're prioritizing for a simple reason.
Well, you have to start somewhere. So we started with the most phone calls we got about the worst flooding. And we went out and witnessed it, 10 o'clock at night in a downpour. And we had neighbors, some neighbors that knew so well at how the flooding was that they said, no, back your car up 5 feet because you want to be out of the water. And boy, they hit it right on the head, some of these flooding problems. The 3 things that we preliminarily discussed at the last meeting, and this was the first time I brought it up to the Stormwater Board, was the Settlers Point Trail culvert enlargement in Goshen, the East Buckeye Lane culvert enlargement, and Phase 1 of the Goshen Lane flooding project.
Thank you.
2 out of 3 of those will be partially paid for, proposed to be partially paid for by a state bridge program funds.
Right.
So,
That's 80,000.
But the Goshen Lane flooding won't, and
no,
that's
it doesn't
a
qualify. The other 2 do.
significant problem here, and
And that's why we need the reserves, is when we get, we have topography, we have utilities, we're now designing it. When we figure out how much it's gonna cost, we're gonna come back and with our hand down, so.
Thank you, Scott.
okay, Magistrate Likens.
Thank you, Judge. I applaud this effort. This is a long time coming, it seems like, and now we have the money to start fixing some of these issues. But I did want to explain $33.84. Is that per residential unit? Because I know there's a lot of people that have large parcels of ground that get more than $33.84.
Yes, I mean, the simple answer to that, yes. I mean,
Most residential units, I believe, are 3384.
yes, they're all.
What it doesn't have to do with the size of your property, it has to do with the amount of impervious surface on your property. So obviously, you might have a big chunk of ground, but you've got 100 square feet of pavement, where, Walmart may have a smaller piece of property than you do, but they've got 15,000 square feet of impervious surface,
And how do we, or people as magistrates, how do we submit a project? Or, somebody listening may say, I've got an issue I want to address, but I don't know where to take it to.
These are taken from a combination of magistrates, judge, and phone calls that we get. We listen to everybody that comes or emails us. We set up a meeting and we record it. And
We've just to elaborate on that, we get some of our issues that are brought to us from the road departments, and of course, the city of LaGrange are under their own contract, but and the city of Pee Wee Valley is excluded because they have their own stormwater management program. So it's the incorporated cities would be Crestwood, Goshen Hills, and there's one more in there too, but I don't remember.
River
which
Bluff.
River Bluff, yes. So, in the county, that's handled, but generally, what happens is that the word of mouth has gotten out there that this board has been created. We've had attendance by homeowners already to our board to bring up issues, and we still have many of those homeowner associations presidents, treasurers, or whoever show up to these meetings that want to participate. You know, they're there because they have issues in their neighborhoods and in their city. So I see more out of this than probably ever before, so
Well, thank you again, and I think you're doing a great job.
thank you.
Magistrate Hounds?
What were the cities that you said that do participate through Oldham County, or who has their own separate?
Pewee Valley has their own
Right.
stormwater management
They're
personnel.
the only ones?
They're the only ones.
Okay. And, Scott, you and I have talked about the Ashbrook issue. Is that on the list? And it doesn't sound like it's on the top, which I understand. I just want to know, is it on the list?
It is on the list, and it isn't very near the top.
I'm sorry?
It is very near the
Oh, it
top.
is very near.
Yeah, the problem is the current project below it, and it's not being done, it's not being designed, so we don't know what we can flow into that system yet.
Understand?
And all of this stuff ties together. The reason there's two projects in Goshen is they tie together. It's almost disastrous to do a middle of a watershed project or an upper end of a watershed project. If you can't do one at the lower end to let everything through, you just pass the flooding down line.
And what you're talking about is the part on Ash Avenue that we're still looking into
That the
taking
state's-
care at the
that the state's paying for.
entrances to Confederate Estates and Ashbrook.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So, and
Can we
that's
expect
moving
the
right along.
construction on that, Jim Urban, you and I talked about that this morning, start later this year, or is it next year?
Letting November of 2017.
Okay, yeah,
We just had a final plan review and markup on that, which I attended, so.
all right, so we get that fixed, and they can move up the road.
Yeah, just curious. Those people are asking
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
Measure Greenwell?
Thank you, Judge. I've had questions asked before, do schools pay any kind of a stormwater fee? And I believe that's correct that they do.
I believe so. I think they're billed.
There was some
Yeah,
pushback at the
everyone
beginning, but I
does.
think they do. And
I mean,
then-
at one time, I know I had a conversation with Stan about this, about churches.
Well, and that was my next question, because
And
that's,
I think he's been going after churches, you know, getting collections of those. So, I mean, you might be
I
able to
think I
elaborate.
can clear that up
Yeah.
very easily. Everybody in the county, every piece of property, including all property of the fiscal court, pays the stormwater fee. The only piece of property in the county that does not pay is the L&N Railroad, or CSX.
and the
Why
reform-
they don't, I don't know why they don't, but
Does the
they don't. I won't say they don't pay, they aren't even billed, and I'm talking about the railroad track
Right.
running through the county.
Right.
do the prison systems, do they pay, the reformatory and? Okay.
Everybody, we
Yeah.
bill everybody.
Everyone gets billed, and
Right, just like, this is a utility fee.
it's exactly.
It's not it's not a tax, it's a fee that is for the stormwater utility. And just like the prison has to pay for the water they get from the Oldham County Water District, they got to pay their sewer charge, they got to pay their stormwater utility fee.
And the judge is correct. The way the statute's written and the way the ordinance is written, we come under utilities type function, so.
As should die.
Yeah, just one question. On these 6 minimum control measures,
Yes.
you have to, is all of those your all's responsibility to do all 6 of those?
Currently, the way the contract reads, the county that we contract with the county.
Okay,
And the county is, the board is obligated this to the county, and they shall provide for those 6 minimum control
and
measures.
and there's no money amount, so in other words, you might spend X number of dollars, and you all decide what the X number of dollars is in each one of these 6 areas?
I will tell you, Measure Die, is that based on the budget you have approved, your line items dictate what the county engineer and what the county spends that contract money for, for stormwater use. So if he's got it in his budget to do that, that's what he does.
All right, now, last question. Some of these things, like illicit discharge detection and elimination, that almost looks like a sewer district situation.
Well, maybe, maybe not.
It usually ends up being that.
Yes.
They have very strict requirement on fulfilling this particular one. You can't have had a rain event for 3 days within the watershed that you're in, and you go out and look for something that's discharging, look for a pipe that's discharging, and trace it back to its location. A lot of times, it's a sump pump from a foundation drain that it's in a high water table area. A lot of times it's an illegal discharge of an industrial plant. But the point is to try and clean the stormwater. So you eliminate these point discharges, illicit meaning there's no permit for them. There is no NPDES applied for or received for that particular application.
So your portion starts when the sewer district, when they stop after their I&I, infiltration and, what's the other word?
That's a little bit different. That's them trying to control the flow into their plant.
Okay,
Groundwater seeping into a pipe, so they're treating more than is actually being flushed or washed down.
this is
drain.
outside that pipe.
This is outside of that pipe.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Although it would be if one of these pipes was uncovered, because they're generally below freezing underground, but if one of them was uncovered and broken and leaving, the pipe, then it would be an illicit discharge and would fall under that MCN.
Okay. All right, thank you.
That's an engineer answer. I'll give you a layman's point of view that I can understand. If I live in a subdivision and I see a porta potty truck pull up and decides he wants to dump his whatever waste in that stormwater drain, that would be illicit discharge. And film it into that. I mean, basically, that's what, to me, is an illicit discharge would be, for a layman's term. And also, we try to educate, I think, through the county and through us, we want to put it out there that, part of that would be also homeowners doing illicit discharge to stormwater, their stormwater drain. Pouring things down, gasoline, paint, motor oil. So, those are things that do not go into the sewer system, but goes into our streams and creeks and our waterways. So,
Magistrate Hounds.
I noticed on your page that you have shown there that you've got no audit for 2017, but an audit for 2018.
right, we are doing an audit, but it would be coming out of our 2017 budget, but we haven't projected it yet because we don't know.
There was an audit done previous?
We'll have the end of this 10-month period, which will end of June 30th, 2017. So I don't have a projection yet for that budget yet, and Stan's not here to give me those numbers yet. We opened up a bid, so I don't know what that is yet.
Okay.
So that's why these are projections that could change, but it would be reflected on 2018 because we wouldn't pay for that audit until 2018 anyway. You follow me?
Okay there?
I mean, because
Assuming that there was an audit done in the previous year, correct?
by OSEA.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm going to clarify, if I can, a little more of what Magistrate Dye asked. The $525,000 that the county is getting to operate our stormwater program on behalf of the Stormwater District includes the work and the materials for the projects done. It also includes the expenses of some of the overhead expenses of our engineering department. People have asked about the engineering department expanding. We've expanded with new roles because we picked up new responsibilities that were previously part of Veolia. And some of this money is paying for the engineer's salary and assistant's salary. So, and then some money is going into reserve. We have what appears to be a fairly good reserve here, projected to be $1 million, but it doesn't take long to start chewing money up. People have no idea when they start the cost of construction, any major construction. So in our $525,000, we're covering the smaller things that we can get out and do with our road crew, but the larger things that we may have to have outside assistance for, or we get in ripping up a neighborhood or redoing lots of infrastructure that's going to take other contractors, you have to be able to have the money to do the project. And I see you know, Mr. Smith here from the fire department, and we all know related to fire departments that you don't need a truck very often, but when you do, you have to have $500,000. They're not cheap. They last a long time, but to get one that is what you want, you don't buy a seconds. They sell theirs to other people who can't afford, you know, a new truck. So that's why we seem to have a lot of money. Now people will say, well, that $33 could be 25, and maybe it could, but it can't. It takes something to operate the program, and it takes enough ability to be able to solve a problem when you're presented with one. And that reserve money is for the significant problems, not for the day-to-day cleaning out ditches and so forth.
Right. Good point.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to add? Right, Will, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate your service and the rest of the members of the board. Next item is our payables, and, okay.
Second.
Anybody have any questions here on the payables?
Have an item to add.
All right, Melissa Horn.
Have an invoice from Classic Cuisine for $2,342 for an event to occur next week.
Yes,
Classic Cuisine.
okay, you make an amended motion, and somebody
Second.
second that, all right. Are there any other issues here?
What was the amount, Melissa?
$2,342.
Thank you.
That's 50% of our board member appreciation expected bill. We don't know exactly what the final bill will be, but we're giving them Classic Cuisine some money to go out and, you know, buy some of the supplies and so forth. Okay, anybody else have any questions or anything? All right, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-1. Next item on the agenda here is the first reading of our ordinance to refinance the general obligation bonds that we were issued in 2009. Melissa, are you up to bat on that one? Okay.
This is ordinance KOC 17-220-414, and it is to refinance bonds that are in the name of the Oldham County Sewer District that were issued in 2009. We are refinancing $3,750,000. They are sewer district bonds, but the fiscal court has to guarantee the debt.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve KOC 17-220-414. No, don't,
Well, we don't need, this is just the first reading.
excuse me.
We're not the- So we're making this announcement, and
Next time.
this is going to come up again in July. I don't think it'll come up next week. It's too soon.
I believe it would be July, yes.
July, this won't come up till our meeting on the 18th of July, is it?
July 18th, yep.
Oh, okay.
And the result of the refinancing is an annual savings of over $18,000.
We like that.
Take it when you can get it.
That's the
All
reason I
right,
wanted to
that'll be
move today.
published on our website and in the newspaper, so we'll have our public hearing at that point. If anybody would like to speak for or against it, they'll be able to do so then. All right, thank you. Anything, are you up next here again?
I think I am for a while.
All right.
Yes, Judge, this is, has to do with Apple Patch, the CDBG grant. And Melissa, since you're here, you can tell us all about that.
This, I believe, is the final document that we need to sign for the Apple Patch Adult Day Care Facility renovation project. This is the forgivable loan agreement and promissory note. This is a bit of a unique project for CBDG grants in that The property that is being renovated is not owned by Apple Patch. It is owned by TK Taylor Properties. So the investment into TK Taylor Properties, he's going to enjoy those leasehold improvements. So should his agreement with Apple Patch, his lease agreement with Apple Patch, end before 10 years, he has to agree to pay back a prorated amount of those leasehold improvements. And this is the document that will guarantee that.
Second.
I note that Mr. Carter has examined this document for legal viability for our purposes here.
Yes.
You're okay with it, all right? Magistrate Dye?
Melissa Horn, you said this is, you believe to be the final document?
I believe this is the final document for this grant.
Okay.
I know, no promises,
I won't hold you to
Magistrate.
that. Thank you.
Magistrate Leslie?
Yes, just a note, John Carter, I've been looking at your signature now for a couple of years, and I would swear that you probably went to medical school.
Not much difference.
Anyone else? A motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I heard one aye, but I didn't hear any opposition, so all in favor, please say aye again.
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. It seemed awfully quiet, didn't it? I mean,
Way to call them out, you know?
all right, I mean, that wasn't something everybody had to sign off on individually, was it? No, I don't think so. Okay.
No.
All right, thank you. All right, now the one we have to really wrestle with here, I think. Okay, go ahead. Financial Accounting System Replacement Contract.
Last August, we opened bids for a new financial accounting system. And due to our personnel changes in the judge's office, we held off accepting one of those bids. And at this time, I am asking you to allow the judge to sign an agreement with AccuFund. Excuse me, the reseller is Waypoints. The purchase price is $19,951. This will replace all of our current accounting functions, plus various items that I currently have to keep on spreadsheets and other record-keeping methods, including fixed assets, tax and fee tracking for our insurance premium tax, our alcohol licenses, our tourism taxes. It will also give us expanded budget capabilities. It will allow auditor access to the accounting system. The quarterly reporting that we have to do to DLG will be incorporated with this system, and it will also give us an improved report writer. I know several of you have asked for improvements to the claims report that you get. You would like to see the account numbers listed. We've been unable to do that. This new system will allow us to have that flexibility. The annual maintenance for this fund, or this accounting system, is $2,944. Today, we pay for Great Plains $8,372 annually, so there is an immediate cost savings.
All right. Moved and seconded, discussion. Magistrate Greenwell?
Considering we opened these bids almost a year ago, is it in the budget currently that we're in right now, this fiscal year, to pay for this?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And there's also money in next year to help with the installation of it, knowing that we wouldn't get it fully installed in a week.
And maintenance and all that?
Yes, sir.
Magistrate Dye?
We've done this software with the plan and zoning, plan development services. This is a plug-and-play, non-proprietary system.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So we're not locked into these people from now to eternity.
No,
Okay.
no. It will be our chart of accounts. It will be our list of vendors, but
I think my other question is, because this has been such a long time ago, I remember seeing these numbers now. Zorbio,
Zobrio.
why were they so much higher? What was their claim to fame?
Just a more expensive piece of software,
More bells and whistles?
perhaps.
Didn't need them?
Didn't need them.
Okay, thank you.
Measured hounds.
What do you anticipate to be the transition time? I mean, will there be downtime? Obviously, you have to cut the data one day and roll it into the new system. So what's the anticipated downtime in there?
I anticipate that the claims list I will bring to you on July 18th will be from the new system.
Okay.
So we are going to end this fiscal year on June 30th with Great Plains and start the new fiscal year on July 1 in the new system.
And you have 4 concurrent users. You're going to have 4 concurrent users on the new system?
Yes.
And we have hardware, I'm assuming, is fine that what we,
Everything that we own the servers today that we would need to run this. Yes, we are fine with that licensing. Yes.
Anyone else? Okay, we've had a motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right. Congratulations. All right, now we're down to personnel actions and board appointments. So Tina Schaaf.
Yes, sir. At the Parks Department, we have 2 new building monitors, Emily Bennett and Bailey Richardson, at $7.40 per hour, effective June 21st.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right,
The second one is a new hire. We have a telecommunicator 2, Tyler Shaw, at $15.69 per hour, and that's effective June 26th.
So moved.
Second.
discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, so moved. All right, thank you. Now we're down to board appointments here, and first one, I'd like to ask the board to reappoint Jack Issing for a term to expire on June 30th, 2020, as a board member of the North Oldham Fire Department.
I'd like to make that motion, Judge.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? South Oldham Fire Department, this would be to reappoint Mayor Dennis Dibel to a term to expire June 30th, 2020. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next one, LaGrange Fire Protection District Board. I'd like to reappoint Amy Alvey, Board Chairman.
Second.
All right, any discussion there? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Westport Fire Protection District Board, this would be Sue Stock for a term to expire 6/30/2020.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Pewee Valley Fire Protection District Board, this is Joy Tabler. Joy replaced a person who left the board, I believe,
Beach Craigmire.
Beach Craigmile, and now this would be for her own full term to June 30th, 2020.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Did we get a second there? I think we did, didn't we? Yeah. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next one, Gary Hardy, this would be a reappointment to the Oldham County Economic Development Board and Chamber Board to expire 6/30/2020.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, opposed? Moved. The Planning Commission Board, here I'm going to ask that Barry Hampton be appointed to the Planning Commission. Barry has been on the Code Enforcement Board. I'd like to move him to the Planning Commission Board. Expire on August 16th, 2019.
Second.
Move.
So move second. Any discussion there? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next, Code Enforcement Board, Ed Halfling to fulfill Barry Hampton's term on the Code Enforcement Board. This would be to 6/16/2019.
Judge, I'll make that motion.
So, second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you. I want to mention that Barry Hampton is taking the place on the Planning Commission, filling out the balance of the term of Joyce Albertson. Joyce was forced to resign because of certain health issues and is unable to continue. Joyce has been a wonderful member of the Planning Commission, and I really thank her for her service. She's done an excellent job over an extended period, and everyone's going to miss Joyce's insight and dedication to good planning in Oldham County.
Judge, I had the pleasure of working with Joyce on some committees and everything, and she truly was dedicated and sincere about Oldham County.
Sure was. Now, I have a couple other, excuse me, personnel announcements here. We've received a letter from Brett Donner, Oldham County Coroner. Brett has announced that he is going to resign his position as of July 31st of this year. He's been the coroner for some time, and we wish him good luck in the future. He's decided he wants to, I guess, move south, is what I understand. So good luck to Brett. Thank you for his service. In his place, I'm going to appoint Mike Whitehead as Oldham County Coroner. Mike has been the deputy coroner for the past 24 years. He's done an excellent job, and Mike will fulfill the balance of Brett's term, which would be until December 31st of 2018. And of course, then Mike may continue if he seeks re-election at that point, or anybody else who wants to seek re-election. Election is able to do so. I'm also going to announce today that I'm selecting Kevin Nuss, Oldham County Emergency Management Director, to be our next deputy county judge, replacing John Black, who is retiring on June 30th. Kevin has been our emergency management and dispatch director since 2007. Kevin began his law enforcement career with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department in 1985, and he served there in many capacities until becoming a chief deputy and retiring there. Later in 1996, he joined the Oldham County Police Department and retired in 2005 as a deputy. And after being with our county police, Kevin went on to work with the state police as the branch manager for strategic planning. And he came back to Oldham County in 2007 as our emergency management director. And he also at that time assumed the solid waste responsibilities for the county, and later became dispatch director as well. Kevin is a graduate of Chadwick University. He's also spent time at the University of Louisville. He and his wife Kim live in Goshen. They've been married for 29 years and have 2 daughters. And I think all of us know Kevin, and perhaps all of you didn't know all those facts about him, but we've all known Kevin for a long time. I think he'll do an excellent job as deputy county judge, and I have a lot of confidence in him. He knows almost everybody in our system and knows a lot about our system, and will do an excellent job in taking John Black's place. So welcome, Kevin, today, and appreciate your agreeing to accept this position.
Judge, I'd like to make a comment
Sir.
about your appointment. I think you've made an excellent choice. Kevin has taken on additional responsibilities every time he came back to Oldham County. He's served in Oldham County in a lot of capacities, wearing many, many hats, probably more than anybody that I think you could have chosen. It's an excellent choice, and Kevin, I congratulate you. It's going to be hard to find somebody to replace him, considering how well he's done at his position. So my hearty congratulations to you. The only problem now is you're going to have to wear a suit every once in a while.
All right, we'll move on to public comment now before we close our meeting. Is there anybody else who would like to speak here in public comment? I don't think we have anyone. I think we have a visitor back here from the Boy Scouts today. We're happy to have you here. Are you an observer today? Or a merit badge? All right, great. Well, you've attended a public meeting, and I hope you've learned something here. All right, Magistrate Logston?
Just welcome, Kevin. I'm a little worried about how we're going to fill his shoes from the place you're leaving, but I'm sure you have that under control. And also, Crestwood's a mess right now with their traffic, so please be patient. It's supposed to be finished before school starts, but it's a total mess down there in Crestwood. So please be patient there. Also, the poles are going up for the red light there at the corner of 329 and 22, so those should be operational within a month or so. And that's about it, Judge. But welcome, Kevin.
Magistrate Dye?
Kevin, welcome. I think you'll be a great addition. Second thing, I just want to correct, I add something to Magistrate Logston's comment about the turning lanes in Crestwood. The contract says it's supposed to be done by November, but it appears to me it'll be done early because they're already they've already got aggregate down for the asphalt. So I think that's not a guarantee. And thirdly, talking to some of the officers and people that live in subdivisions, put your stuff, lock your cars up, put your junk in your trunk. There's been a lot of stuff going on. So just protect your stuff, and that's all.
All right, Magistrate Hounds?
Welcome, Kevin, to your new position. Congratulations. That's all I got, Judge.
Thank you. Magistrate Greenwell?
Thank you, Judge. I just want to relate an incident. I had an opportunity this morning to work with a couple members of the Oldham County Water District. There was a leak on the farm that I work on, and I called, and within 45 minutes they were there and introduced themselves professionally, and we looked at the situation, and they explained how it was going to be fixed, and assured me that it would be fairly quickly after they located the utilities. And so anyway, it was just a pleasure working with two young men, Zach and Will. Anyway, they're quality people. So Oldham County Water District's got some good people. Good luck, Kevin. Thank you.
Magistrate Leslie?
Nothing.
Magistrate Tice?
A couple of weeks ago, we did the dedication to the disc golf down at Winnemore, and I think we talked about it. But I'd like to report that it's being used, and that's good within itself.
Were you playing or someone?
No, but I've seen some people down there. It's
Yeah,
been
great.
reported to me, so that's good. It's there.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, that's fun for all, and it's crossed my mind a couple of times to go down there. I just would like to have a competitor, and
They don't have golf carts. We'll have
no
to walk,
golf
I
carts,
think.
yeah. We might get some disc carts down there. That's a good idea, yeah.
Judge, maybe you and Wayne could go down and have like a little toss-off or
Right.
something.
See who could throw his back out first. I
That's
guess.
right. Let's move this on.
All right, Magistrate Likens.
I'd like to welcome Kevin. I think you made a good choice. And I'd like to, are you going to mention the special meeting that's coming up for us as an announcement? And I'd like to invite everyone to see the July the 4th fireworks. That's at the Oldham County Park across from LaGrange, or across from the Oldham County Country Club golf course.
Yeah, Wendell Moore
It's really
Park.
a nice show, so been to it many times.
Okay, great. All right, Magistrate Dye.
Are you going to bring up the wastewater? I forgot to say anything about the wastewater treatment
ahead.
plant.
Go
No?
ahead.
Well, you went on the tour, right?
Yes, it did.
Well, I'll let you tell. I've went on the tour before.
All right, what he's referring to is the new South Oldham Regional Wastewater Treatment Plant. Had dedication this past week. We are running some video on Channel 25 about that, if you happen to catch it. But we have a new facility there that is going to, it's taken several plants offline, and two, I believe, and it's just really nice, well put together. I think if the community could be proud of a public facility, they'd be very proud of this. It has, it's really well thought of, and are put together very well. Just really pleased to be there. learned a little bit more about sewage treatment than I knew before I arrived, but maybe I need to know in general, but I know a good job has been done. It's going to serve our county for decades to come and serve it well. So I wished when we had the open house that everybody could be there to see it, because I think our county would be proud of the job that Oldham County Environmental has done, and Jim Haggerty, the engineer from Oldham County Environmental. Also like to mention, Magistrate Likens referred to our special meeting, which will be held is that the 29th? Right, 29th, Thursday, the 29th, that's a week from this coming Thursday, at 10 a.m. here in the Fiscal Court Building. It's a special called meeting to replace our normal July meeting, which would land on the 4th of July. So that's a day that would be inconvenient for virtually everybody. So we're going to move the meeting up a little bit and be able to pay our final bills for the current fiscal year, which ends the next day. So any vendor that may be listening that has a bill that needs to be paid, get it in now so we can pay it by the end of June. Okay, so that being said, again, welcome to Kevin Nuss. We'll all be working with Kevin. Kevin's arrival, you know, it means John's departure. Wish John Black a tremendous and enjoyable retirement. He's done a wonderful job for us, for our community for decades, literally, and here for the last 7.5 years with our administration. So thank you to John, and welcome to Kevin. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
I made a note to tell Jay. I'll have to adjust it. I know, it looks like.